Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
I knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Welcome to Mexico City, where the air is thin, the speeds are high, and the margins are razor sharp. At over 2,200 meters above sea level, the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez challenges drivers like nowhere else. A blast into turn one, precision through the S's, a breathtaking run through the stadium. This is the Mexico City Grand Prix, and anything can happen in that first corner. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. This is the West Coast Sim Racing. This is the Porsche Cup. Run every Thursday. This stream brought to you by Jeremy Fletcher Racing, JFR. Go ahead and grab yourself some swag. Check out jeremyfletcherracing.com. So far, we're about 3/4 of the way through the championship. We have Fuji, Portimao, and Road Atlanta to round this out. But we've been through Daytona to Monza, Le Mans, and now Spain. That's where we left things off. Brendan Myers leads by just 3 points in front of Josh Hunter with Cyril wins to his name, though. Can he get one tonight is the question. Josh Hunter in second, Edwin Onofre in third, Zach Severe in fourth, Alexei Andreu in fifth, Daniel Redmond in sixth, Joe Rainey in seventh, Lewis Holloway, Brandon Birch, and Connor T. Cunningham round out the top 10. That's 85 points back, but just 14 separate the top four. And we're getting ready to get the drivers all gridded up as we sit behind the pace car. Actually brings up a good question. The pace car, what is the pace car doing here? We should be a standing start. But I do see the Porsche safety car out. Let's take a look at our starting grid. It'll be Brendan Myers and Edwin Onofre in the 1-2 there. Zach Sevier and Dylan Lee line the second row. For the third, Alexei Andreu and Josh Hunter, and Joe Rainey and Lewis Holloway. Warren Johnson and Boris Drekovich. Nico Colby and Stone Colby line 6. Miles Guerrero and Colton Juarez will finish things out. As we get pacing here behind the Porsche safety car, I want to give a big shout out and thanks to everybody live now or in the future. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, get notifications for when V-Speed goes live next. But here at West Coast Sim Racing, we're racing every Monday and Thursday evenings at roughly 7:40 Pacific Standard Time. If you want to get involved in the racing action, you can come check out West Coast Sim Racing on Discord. Find us on iRacing and get yourself injected into your sim rig. New drivers welcome with open arms. Contact the lead admin, Warren Johnson, for more details. Drivers taking advantage of the opportunity to sit behind the safety car and weave and warm up their tires here. Typically not a formula that we would typically see for the Porsche Cups, but rolling starts becoming more and more of a variety. Now, what can Zach Sevier do from P3 on the grid? The 714 Iron Dames liveried car sits right behind his good friend Brennan Myers in first place. Myers and Sevier will have the inside run. Going down into the first corner, it's going to be a long drag. And even though this track may look like Monza, it drives nothing like it. Other than the chaos that you need to survive going down in turn one, Myers will control the grid. And it's green, green, green here for West Coast Sim Racing Porsche Cup. Going down in towards turn one, Brennan Myers holds on to the lead by just a narrow margin in front of Edwin Onofre. All drivers staying in line. Sevier going to make it 3 wide, going down in towards one. The 714 forcing the situation, gets the nose ahead of the number 23. Is it going to be a solid move? It sure is. But now the 199 gets his nose chopped off by Brennan Myers further back. Josh Hunter sitting back in the championship in P2. But he's a long way back from Myers' run, who's in the lead of the championship. And there's a spin. That'll be for, I think that's Nico Colby in the Apex Motor Club car. That is Nico Colby. And something has happened to Edwin Onofre here. Let's see if we can get a replay of what happens to Onofre to cause him to fall down the order. Here's the replay of what happens to the 199. Battling it out with the 19. That's Alexe Andreu there. And everything looks okay for the 199. This is coming down into the Esa de Lago, it looks like. And then this is going to be the hairpin of Orquilla and a slowdown penalty, perhaps. And then mounts the curbs, gets on the loud pedal. And what happens after this, going down into the S's? This is a very long replay. I apologize. And then gets on the loud pedal and spin around. So Onofre to the back of the pack, unfortunately for him, in that running order will not fare well for him. Joe Rainey in the mix for the top three, though, sits behind Dylan Lee, who's sitting in that coveted third spot. Alexe Andreu now up into the lead, and I think the right question to ask is, what happened to Zach Severe? As he's now battling 2x2 with Onofre. See if we can get a replay of what happened here. Zach Severe in the 714 coming down into the infield section. Leader of the race. Comes in clean. And then now through the stadium of Foro Sol. Oh, and he just bounces over the sausages and spins out. And that will be the causation there. The Colby train, for the first time in a long time, isn't at the front of the grid. It's further back for P9 and P10. Nico Colby right behind Miles Guerrero, but no longer as he tries to get ahead of Guerrero around the outside. The number 26 falls prey to the attacking Nico Colby. Next up on the chopping block is going to be Lewis Holloway, the camper and caster driver, number 93. Can Colby chop it up with Warren Johnson there in the way, and it'll be an accordion effect as the number 16 runs into the back of Lewis Holloway, who falls back down the order. Further back, Stone Colby, Edwin Onofre, and Zach Severe on their recovery drives. Remember, we do have a competition caution coming out, so the race isn't over yet for anybody. Mistake there for Onofre on the way down to the S's. That's going to lose out of position to the number 16 of Nico Colby. Now, Brennan Myers has a nearly 4-second gap back to Alexe. We'll have to see what he can do with it. And if he's able to capitalize on the advantage that he has. Reminder, we do have a competition caution coming out shortly. So I truly do wonder if it's imperative for him to push as hard as he has been, or if he can back off and perhaps conserve a little bit of tire and fuel life. Warren Johnson going off the track at the inside of Orquilla. And he's battling it out with a 13 of Stone in the Red Bull livery. And that was a big hit to the sausage curve from the number 13. It was airborne on two wheels through the S's. "33 minutes remaining on the clock, folks. Dylan Lee in the hunt for Alex Andreu, who tries to break the toe and hugs the pit road wall. A little bit of defensive driving going on there from the number 2, trying to hold back Josh Hunter and the number 81. Doors ajar, but just ajar, and it bumps out the number 81 of Josh Hunter, but the position given back by Dylan Lee. That'll be P3 handed back over. I don't think the battle is done yet between these two. Things quieting down for the entire field. This is the closest battle on track between Dylan Lee and Josh Hunter. The 81 and the 2. Separated by about a half a second now. And I wonder when they're going to start, or if they will start working together, trying to catch up to Alexe. Last lap times on the leaderboard. 142.5, 142.6, 143.8 from Hunter. That's while he was battling with Dylan Lee. (41.1) coming out from those that are on the recovery, though. Colby Onofre Colby and Zach Severe all down into the 141s that last time around. So what does this mean for a guy like Joe Rainey? Well, seemingly he's under attack now from Nico Colby. Number 16 along the inside of the 17 of Joe Rainey from Rainey Homes. And it's going to be a drag down into the braking zone of the first corner. In through the S's, Moises Solana. It will go the way of the number 16, but a clatter with the wall there on exit. Down the straightaway even, he's losing ground to Joe Rainey. Can Rainey pick up the pace into the braking zone for the Estes del Lago? I don't think so. Josh Hunter is within 1 second of Alexei Andreu. And Dylan Lee staying within striking distance of Hunter ahead. Up ahead, the battle between P234 is Alexei, Josh Hunter, and Dylan Lee. Pace being picked up, Josh Hunter, 141.6, being a last lap fast lap compared to 142.4 from Alexei that last time around. But we all know catching is one thing, passing a whole nother ball game. And the 13 of Stone Colby maybe loses ground there to Edwin Onfrey. I just saw Colby's name flash in the corner of my eye as I was looking at the lap times between Josh Hunter, Dylan Lee last time around. 141.6 to that 141.2. So keep our eye on Dylan Lee, who has not only stayed within striking distance, but keeps on positioning himself very well into this attacking trio. Drivers fanning out back to the racing line into the braking of turn one. And only the 19 of Andreu defends hard but fair. Now you can see the gap between Brendan Myers and Alexei. He's again defending lines. Not for the 81 of Hunter. He does seem to be phased by Dylan Lee behind. He keeps on poking a nose in, but not quite there to actually be a threat, it looks like. So, interesting situation unfolding. Here comes Hunter's run on Alexei. He's going to have the outside line coming down into the Recta de Ovalo. Before we get down to Fora Sol, again the outside line, but will it be a switchback for the 81 of Josh Hunter? He can't get it quite engaged. And Alexei continues to defend, but here it will be the safety car to neutralize the field at the halfway point of the race. Yellow flags waving, neutralizing the field just when things were getting spicy for Andreu, Hunter, and Lee. The 2-3-4. Brendan Myers leads us going into the halfway point of the race. Andreu in second, Hunter in third, Dylan Lee in fourth. Nico Colby, Edwin Onofre, Stone Colby, and Zach Sevier, Joe Rainey, Warren Johnson, Miles Guerrero, Lewis Holloway, and Boris Dragovic, rounding out the 13 drivers remaining. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
Trade for bananas?
Bananas? No thanks. Are you tired of lowball offers and no shows? Here at VehicleBuyers.com, we make it fast and easy to sell your vehicle. Enter your vehicle information into our website and receive an offer for your vehicle. Our competitive offers ensure that you get the best deal possible. If you're ready to sell your vehicle, click the link below.
VehicleBuyers.com. Visit us today. Having trouble outfoxing the deals and the competition getting you all flustered? Time to be sly and visit OverstockVehicles.com. We have over 600 vehicles available for sale monthly, all at dealer pricing. OverstockVehicles.com. Visit us today.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish! Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
And we are back, folks. Behind the pace car, the lights are out. Maybe it'll just be one more lap before we get ready for green flag running. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure to be your host as always. Sagar Bakshi, your commentator and producer on behalf of V-Speed Productions. Looking at the race analysis for tonight, race length 45 minutes, 50 miles per hour being the speed road limit. Unlimited tire sets available with one competition caution called out throughout the race at the halfway point. 100% racing fuel allowed, and iRacing open setups are allowed as well. Brennan Myers able to pull out with the lead one time. Can he do it a second? This time he has a different opponent alongside him. Alexei Andreu in the banana machine, and Josh Hunter behind in the Clementine. Zach Severe way far down the order back in P7. And it's green, green, green here for the second time tonight. Going down in towards turn one. A big defensive run for the number 23 as Josh Hunter gives a little bit of a push, tries to find a way by, has to back off of Mr. Myers, but there goes the number 19 of Alexei Andreu. Myers has to go over the curb. There goes the 714 of Zach Severe, chopping it up through the field, finds a way all the way up into P2. Gets a nose ahead of the number 23, now challenges for the race lead. Zach Severe now up ahead into P1 all over again, but he has to stay mistake free for the remaining 17 minutes and 40 seconds. Not the case for Miles Guerrero, as he has an issue coming out of Orquídea. Alexei under attack or attacking, I'm unsure. He looks defensive now as Josh Hunter has a good run on him. Big accident behind as Lewis Holloway, Warren Johnson, Stone Colby, and Miles Guerrero involved in that, but the 16 and the 19 are here and now going after it toe-to-toe, and the 16 gets a bit of a wiggle, bouncing over the curbs, loses out one, but will he lose out two at the same time? Keeping an eye on that gap, it's already 1.5 seconds between Zach Severe and Brennan Myers. Side by side, further back between Josh Hunter and Dylan Lee. It looks like Hunter's through, but has a bit of a swirly moment coming through Recta Transcara. A big off there for the 16, might get a slowdown for Nico Colby. Dylan Lee has Edwin Onofre to contend with, but Onofre settles that debate pretty resoundingly, and the 199 backs up into P6. Oh no, here's Stone Colby with an incident. Let's see if we can get an instant review of what happened here. Looks like he's going for a move with Lewis Holloway, the number 93. Camber and caster driver. And where does it all go wrong? And it's a solo spin for the 13, and the 93 just takes avoiding action. Coming down the front stretch, Alexei is passed by the 16 and the 81. And now the 81 is trying to push through, and not trying, but does. Same for the 16 of Colby. Nico finds P4 with a little bit of aggression over the sausage curbs. All the while, Brennan Myers has closed down the gap. Late on the brakes for the number 19. The banana boat is there at the apex, but can't quite get the move signed, sealed, and delivered. And in the background, that'll be Edwin Onofre. Ready to pounce in his own. All the while, I was saying earlier, Brennan Myers, 4/10 back from Zach Severe. A 714. Oh no, and Myers spins it. Let's see what happened here. Myers in the hunt for his first win of the season. Perhaps pushing just a little too hard. Gets over the curb, goes airborne, and that'll do it for the 23, who's back down into P7. Big gaggle of cars here. This is basically Alexa and Josh Hunter leading the pack all the way back to the end of Brennan Myers. And you can see Myers in the background duking it out with Joe Rainey, 17, up ahead. Battle here between Onofre and Alexa, and Onofre at the S's has the confidence around the outside on Alexa. And what a recovery drive from Onofre. Recover back into P3 with 12 minutes left to go. It's not out of question for him to get a little further up the order. Here comes Dylan Lee on Alexa now. Alexa goes a little bit deep in defense. I think he was setting it up for the stadium section defense. Yes, he was. And he has the inside line covered off from the number 2. But now he's compromised the inside line out of the stadium. And Alexa tries to go for a switchback. But Joe Rainey was there sight unseen. And I think that was just a racing incident gone wrong. Brendan Myers looming behind the battle here for P4 and 5. It'll be a nice switchback for the 23, but I think he backs out of it as the 2 was closing the door. Dylan Lee just a nose ahead. Edwin Onofre all over the Clementine of Josh Hunter, who might be in the lead of the championship by the end of the night, depending on where Brendan Myers ends up. Just 3 points separate them in the championship currently. And Brendan was starting from pole position tonight. Definitely had the world at his feet. Oh no, and I'm not sure if that was a touch there, but the 2 of Lee goes round. Brendan Myers seemingly escapes with no damage, so I don't think that was his fault there. And the number 23 escaping up the road. And at the end of the day, does Brendan Myers even need a win to secure the championship? Talked to him a little bit before the race, and we agreed, although it would help, it's not mandatory. He has been Mr. Consistent throughout this race, throughout the championship even. Despite not having a single win to his name, he's still in the lead. But will that change tonight is the question. Where will Brendan Myers, the number 23, end up? He's got Alexa in his crosshairs currently. The number 19 holding down P4. And look at this, actually. Something I wasn't even paying attention to. The 848 of Dragojevic is up into P6. What a great run for him. Take a look at the positions gained on the timing tower. It's up 4 for him. There goes the 23 on Alexe. Doesn't need to be wait to be invited twice. And Brendan Myers back through up into P4. Yeah, let's see if he can catch up to Josh Hunter with 8 minutes left to go on the clock. Up ahead, Edwin Onofre, I believe, pulls out the fast lap of the race. A 146.83. Miles Guerrero, Lewis Holloway were close to each other on the racetrack, but what happened here? It looks like Lewis Holloway falls back behind. Joe Rainey in a bit of a battle with that 848 car up ahead and a little off coming through the S's. That'll compromise his run with the slowdown. And Joe Rainey climbs back up into P6. Or is it over yet? Because there goes back through the 848. Boris challenges hard but fair, but so is Joe Rainey as he challenges back. There's the number 2 behind of Dylan Lee trying to snap something together here in the final closing stages. Little kiss of the wall there for the number 2, and sparks will fly off of him, but he gets the position done in front of Boris. Up ahead, the battle for the lead, spicing up to become something. As Edwin Onofre has caught up to Zach Severe. .714 and the 199 are ready to duke it out. .714 definitely under a threat from Edwin Onofre. The 199 looking for the top step of the podium. There it is, the open door gets alongside Zach Severe. Now they're going to drag this one out down towards turn 1. Edwin Onofre has the overspeed, is committed to the inside line. Severe falls in single file. Onofre can't move back over to the racing line. Zach tries to go around the outside. The 199 has a bit of a slide. The 714 follows suit, though. On exit, Severe has a little bit of overspeed on Onofre. Can he peek out? Onofre defends the inside. Severe hops back over to the racing line, trying to get a switch back. He did get to the inside, but spins Onofre, who's going to come back into P4. Four minutes left on the clock, and everything gets turned on its head. Now, Is it Josh Hunter's opportunity to catch up and attack Zach? Drivers putting in around 141s. So expect this to be the penultimate lap, meaning this lap plus one more till we see the checkered flag. Warren Johnson, Nico Colby, and Stone Colby unfortunately out of the race. Lewis Holloway with a black flag. Brendan Myers 1.3 seconds back from Hunter. I think he's a little too far back, a little too late in the game to catch back up. But anything can happen in motorsports, and it typically does. Warren Johnson in the chat comes back with tough one. Yes, indeed, my brother. Sorry. Things did not go your way. It looks like that will be the white flag out here. And we will be under the final attempt. Brendan Myers definitely has closed down the margin on Josh Hunter. 140.5 that last time around compared to the 141s from the duo leading the race. Myers goes a little bit wide at the Essa de Lago. And Edwin Onofre still manages to hold down P4 despite that spin. Alexa in P5. But here and now, it's Zach Severe, Josh Hunter, and Brendan Myers. The 1, 2, 3. Into the stadium section with 10 seconds left to go. Will it be a heroic dive from either of these drivers into the final couple of corners? And it is going to be Brendan Myers with a heroic dive on Hunter, but it doesn't go his way. And to the checkered flag, it will go Zach Severe, then Josh Hunter, Edwin Onofre, Alexei Andreu, and Brendan Myers frustratingly brings it to the line. Joe Rainey, Dylan Lee, Boris Dragovic, Miles Guerrero, Lewis Holloway, Warren Johnson finishing up the race. Let's take a look at the provisional results. Zach Hunter with a win. Josh Hunter in P2, started in P6. Edwin Onofre covers the P3. Alexei Andreu in 4th. Brendan Myers in 5th. Joe Rainey, Dylan Lee, Boris Dragovic, Miles Guerrero, Lewis Holloway round out the top 10. Warren Johnson, Nico Colby, Stone Colby, and then Colton Juarez round out the 14 participants. Let's go ahead and talk to our 1, 2, 3 here. In the booth with me, we've got Zach Severe, ready to talk to us about his kind of heroic recovery drive back up into P1 after the second half of the race. Zach, how'd you manage to do it, man?
Yeah, it's kind of a funny race from my part. I wasn't the quickest in practice, and I was making a lot of setup changes up until the race. So the start of the race, I really actually didn't think I was at all on pace with drivers like Brennan, Edwin, especially. Josh, he never practices, but is always like one of the quickest by the end. So I didn't even have to, I wasn't going to stress myself out about that for the moment. But I had a pretty good start. I took the lead, then I crashed, fell last, then I got hit, I got spun around. And so at that point, I made kind of a game plan. I said, do not use the tires at all. You want to have like 90% tires by the restart, so that on the restart I can just be so much more, quick and have a lot of grip. And so it worked out, and I had a really nice restart and ultimately tried to pull away. There was one moment with Edwin. I haven't looked at the replay. It might be my fault. If it is, I'll take the penalty. I'm not sure though, but ultimately I'm really, really proud of that race.
It was definitely a great recovery drive from Zach on this victory. Anybody you want to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank you for these awesome broadcasts and Warren for making it happen.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Warren and the West Coast Sim Racing staff for making this all possible. Thank you very much for showing out, Zach. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Next up, we're going to talk to Edwin Onofre, who came back in P2 after starting at the back of the pack for the race restart. Edwin, how'd you manage to basically climb through the order not once but twice?
Well, again, I did not have the pace for this race. I literally was struggling to try to figure out how to get into the 42s until I saw what Nico and Brendan Myers did during practice, and I'm like, oh, you got to cut the course sometimes. It took me by surprise how much course cutting there is that doesn't invalidate your laps. So I did that for practice. The setup was really good, but after the first start, I immediately spun out in one of the corners. So I had to make sure that I plan on getting new tires, um, so that way I can go ahead and get the most grip, which really helped out. And then once we got around to the battle with Zach Severe, I thought I was going to be able to get away with it, but there were some corners where I ended up picking up too much speed, so the traction control did not help out the way I thought it would. And then once we got into, what was it, turn 7, I believe, uh, I don't know what to make of that. I can only let the admins decide on that, and only the admins will decide what happened onto that. I'm more surprised about the fact that, oh wait, I did finish P2? Oh, okay. It's because Josh Hunter picked up a black flag at the last second crossing the line, so I guess I'll give whatever iRacing gives me. I'm very surprised about that, but regarding this incident that I was talking about, we'll see what the stewards have to say about that. It was a good battle all the way, though.
It was a good battle through and through, throughout the grid, Edwin. Anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the recovery drive to P2 tonight?
Thank you to Texport Racing for allowing me to be with them at Circuit of the Americas for the GR86 series and as well as the GT4 series. So that was a fun time. I still need to make an Instagram and Twitter post about my pictures because I have over 2,000 of them. But I got to go ahead and process them one at a time. Shout out to Warren Johnson for the league. Thank you so much for that. And shout out to you. Shout out to all my friends and family watching this. Thank you so much. And yeah, that's all I got to say. Appreciate you tuning in and having a good time showcasing this for us.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Edwin, for showing up, showing out
Brennan's
every
fault.
single week, brother. Appreciate you. Take care.
What was that?
Let's go over to P3. It's going to be Alexe Andreu in the number 19. Alexe, you come home with a surprise podium tonight. Started in fifth. It lead us for a single lap, but you were there when it mattered on the restart.
Yeah, it was quite a surprise. I didn't do well on the second part. I kind of started losing it. I guess just fatigue accumulated. But yeah, just lucky that Brennan spun out and like Josh got many incidents. But yeah, it's my favorite track, so I kind of glad I got some metal there. So
Absolutely. It was a good drive for you. And in order for everything to work out the way it did, you had to be there, to get the result at the end of the night. And you were there. You stayed mistake free and you kept it pretty clean for the most part. So the keys to success, or the recipe for success, was definitely within you. Anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the podium tonight?
yeah, I'd like to to thank my wife who watches the streams, and supports me in this hobby. Shout out to my coach Zane. Like I didn't specifically train for this track, but over the weeks he helps a lot to get to pace. For you, for broadcasting, for everyone who races, it was very tough tonight, but very fun. A lot of battles. Warren, like for keeping this league on. So yeah.
Thank you, Alex. I really appreciate you, as always, for showing up and showing out. And good luck for the rest of the championship as well, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
And last but not least, it looks like we have Warren Johnson. And it looks like Warren in the number 24, unfortunately, did not finish the race out for us. Warren, what happened, buddy?
This car is just, sometimes it's a little too ridiculous for me, and just spinning out of nowhere and for no reason. And so I'm just like, I'm out. I'm in last place. Time to go.
That was me last week at Catalunya.
You did fine, man. I think you were doing pretty good for your first time in that car. So, but this track is like infinitely more difficult than that track for this car. A lot of the curbs are just ridiculous in this car, or on this track. So,
and there's a lot of heavy traction zones here as well. Coming through the Estelago, the Foro Sol, a lot of slow traction zones in the stadium section that really are going to punish your tires if you're not careful with them. So, like we heard from Zach about saving the tires for later stages of the race, was any of that going on for you, or flat out?
I'm not even thinking about any of those things driving this car. I'm thinking about not putting it in the wall. That's what I'm doing. That's the strategy and all that kind of stuff. Just does not exist in this car for me. I'm working on not being in last place. So that stuff is not in my range of expertise here. But no, hey, it's whatever. We got this car. We're driving it. We're gonna finish out the season. Glad to see we had 14 drivers today, or 13, whatever it was. Thanks for them for coming, and all the guys continually in the races on Mondays and Thursdays, and then hopefully coming up on Wednesdays, you guys will be there for the Miatas. That's going to be a really fun time. Not as serious as the other two. It's going to be more kind of a for fun thing, but they're still really, really fun times. But I got to get to this race review. Sagar, thank you so much for broadcasting, brother. You've been a great addition to the league, and we'll hope to see you for the coming races, man.
Absolutely, Warren. Take care, brother. Thank you very much.
You as well. See ya.
Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure to be with you from Green to Checker Flag. As always, on behalf of V-Speed, I'm Sagar Bakshi, your commentator and producer, part of the broadcasting team here at V-Speed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and get notifications for when we go live next. If you like what you see here at West Coast Sim Racing, join us on the grid every Monday and Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great night, everybody, and as always, make sure you remember to stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.